When you're ready to try out buttonholes or sewing buttons on the Husqvarna Viking Onyx 30, this video is going to be something you can refer back to at any time. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and we're doing all the free video tutorials for this beautiful machine. It has so many functions that people are looking for without a price tag that goes with some of the higher end machines. And doing buttonholes is something that even if you're not a garment sewer, we do find buttonholes in a lot of other places, like for drawstring bags, or you can even weave ribbon through buttonholes. And of course, sewing on a button is something that, well, we always need to do that from time to time. And on this machine, there are buttonholes, there's 9 buttonholes and a stitch that is designed to sew the button on for you. And do you know that you don't even use a presser foot to sew this button on? And this machine has the feature where you can lower the feed dogs as well, which I'm going to show you why we do that when we sew the button in place. Well, first off, if you just want to sew the standard buttonhole, number 0 is what you're going to pick. It's going to remind us which foot to put on right here, and that is our foot C. Now, if you haven't seen this foot lately, it could be stored in that back area of your accessory box. That's where mine stays. And actually, when I'm done with today, my buttonhole foot will be stored with the button saved in the back, because that will remind me of how this operation actually goes. So first thing you're going to do is take a hold of your buttonhole foot and hold it so the little place you're going to connect it to the machine is at the bottom. Then take this top piece right here and push it away from you. You're going to hear the little clicks, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the button that will be used for the buttonhole and actually put it in the back. This foot will actually create the buttonhole to that length when the button is placed in the foot. So how in the world does that work? There's going to be a lever we're going to pull down once we put this foot on the machine so it can measure that length, and then the machine will actually do the whole rest for us. Take your foot, slide it and set it so it can come in and around that little silver attachment area. And then behind your needle threader, so right here's your needle threader, there is another paddle that we pull straight down. And what that does is that sits in between that area, and it will tell the machine how big of a button is in the back. This is also the foot that we use for the mending stitch. We do that in another video, and that is how we can control how big of a stitch we make when we're doing mending in an area of fabric that has come loose. On the screen, that's also the little symbol that is and comes up, indicating that something needs to be engaged for this buttonhole system to work. And once you get one buttonhole done, you can try out all the other buttonholes that are part of this decorative stitch collection. Each of them are for different types of fabric with a different either beginning or end for you to choose from. So keyhole buttonholes to something that would be more like a jeans buttonhole. It's actually quite unique. So let's do the buttonhole from this side. First off, this is going to be stitched from this point, and it's going to sew away from you. So if you put it to start right on the edge of your fabric up here, that you're going to run out of real estate. You'll realize real quick that that's not going to work. So my first buttonhole, I'm going to go ahead and stitch it starting in the middle. I'm going to also make sure it's the right length for my button, and you are going to need some type of stabilizer. A lot of times your pattern will have you interface the back of your fabric, but I like to even follow it up with a piece of tearaway stabilizer underneath. When you start stitching, you're also going to notice that your first time using the foot, the thread is going to appear to be on top. There's not really a place to slide the thread underneath unless you're going to manually do it before you get started. So usually what I do is I just hold this thread as we start, and you can use the start stop button on the front of your machine right here. If you want, I'm going to slow down the machine and just use that button, and here's what it's going to look like. It's going to start with a couple stitches going in the reverse option. And after it takes a few stitches, if you want, you can stop it and actually cut the thread out of the way. That way, it's nothing that you have to worry about. So it first is going to stitch all the way back, all the way back down. Kind of creates its own like under stitching, and then it's going to stitch a zigzag all the way to the back, and then it'll start the other side. So we just let the whole thing do the process, and it stops at the end. Now, did you notice that it actually tapped this little part right here? That's when it actually needed to turn around, and how cool this buttonhole foot is. All right, touch the scissor button. Now, keep in mind, if you lift this up before the buttonhole is done, it's going to reset. So isn't that easy? Let's just do one more. Now that thread's kind of underneath the foot, we'll speed it up and touch the start button and let it do the whole sequence one more time. Scissor button, lift up the foot, foot resets, and you can make 99 more buttonholes perfect every single time. But wait, after you've sewn your buttonholes, we want to learn how to sew a button on the fabric. To switch over, first off, take the buttonhole paddle that measures the length of the buttonhole and push it all the way back up. Take and remove the presser foot. And if that is an extra button, you can leave that in the foot, and then it's a reminder for next time that a button needs to go there for measuring. Now, your stitch that you are selecting is really going to be a zigzag that's going to go back and forth a certain amount of times, but the feed dogs are up right now. So that means that they're going to be touching the underneath side of the fabric when we're sewing the button on. So if we actually want to lower those feed dogs, which I always recommend, we're going to start by taking the accessory box off and reaching behind the machine. When you look back here, there's a lever, and you're going to slide it all the way to the right side. You're going to hear a click. Okay, feed dogs are down. That means that nothing's going to kind of move or shift that button when I'm stitching it. And I'm going to show you this now so you don't forget, is when you are done, remember to slide the feed dogs back and engage them. It's going to go to this side, but when you do it, do you notice they do not come up? They will once you take a stitch. So I'm going to just take one by hand real quick. You heard a little click, and then the feed dogs are visible above the stitch plate. Okay, so we're putting them back down. I'm going this way with the lever to the right. Down they go. And I mentioned that we don't use any presser feet for this operation. And that's because we're going to place a button right underneath this ankle, and the ankle is going to sit on the button and hold it in place. Now, how do we know where to position it? First off, let's pick the correct stitch. The stitch we're using is in menu 2, stitch number 28. Menu 2, stitch number 28. Notice that the stitch length has no number, and the stitch width, this is a default width, assuming that our button is of a normal size. That's how wide the zigzag needs to be. We'll always double check that before stitching on our button. So the first thing to do is to hand turn the needle into the left hole of the button. Lower the presser foot down and just kind of eyeball that the holes are parallel to each other and the button hasn't twisted when you lowered the presser foot down. We'll take one stitch to the side. You can see it goes into the second hole with that default stitch width. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and step on your foot control, and it will do about 8 stitches with a locking stitch at the end. And yes, you can use the scissor button to cut the thread and pull it out. So that's how easy it is to stitch. And if you have a button with 4 holes, line it up, lower the presser foot, test the swing, and go ahead and stitch. If you want a few more stitches, you can always do a repeat of the sequence for the button sew-on stitch. Put a little fray check on that button and those threads will not come loose in the future. If this video has been helpful, make sure you're clicking like to say thank you for the free information. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got links below with all the other videos that we have done on the Husqvarna Viking Onyx 30. And I hope you've been enjoying using your machine to its fullest.